This is the new BMW 4 Series, the sleeker coupe version of the 3 Series, and in this video I'm going to tell you the 9 key things you need to know about it. Yes, I know, that grille everyone worried about when they saw it on the concept has indeed made it to production. Now I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. It's not quite as bad as I imagined, and perhaps it's the first time ever a front number plate is welcomed, as it sort of breaks up the old Bugs Bunny teeth effect. Do you know what? I think this could actually grow on me, and I don't mean in the same way that athlete's foot does. Anyway, joking aside, the new grille ensures the 4 Series looks very different to the 3 Series, especially from the front. You see what I mean? The sleeker headlamps really help it too. They are LEDs as standard, FYI, and if you give BMW some extra monies, you can upgrade them to have laser high beam.
With frickin' laser beams attached!
As well as the new face, the 4 Series has lots of contrasting trim to make it seem all sparkly and new. And then there's that classic coupe sloping roofline, which makes it way sleeker than the boxy 3 Series saloon. In fact, it's sort of like a mini 8 Series. It's pretty tasty around the back as well, though there is some deception going on. You see that diffuser? Well, it's fake. And the exhaust pipes are an exaggeration. Still, at least there are some actual pipes in there, and they're not quite so bad on the lower level engines. Anyway, is the new 4 Series a case of nice arse, shame about the face? Let me know what you think in the comments, and just so you know, BMW's designers do watch our videos and they read what you guys say. So don't be too harsh, otherwise you might make them cry. Okay, so this part of the car is less controversial, as inside the 4 Series is just the same as a 3 Series. So it's a little on the conservative side, but well laid out and crafted from quality feeling materials. Now that doesn't mean that things won't break though. It's a BMW after all, not a Lexus. Being the 4 Series, you get a bit more standard equipment to make up for the higher asking price over the 3 Series. Items like tri-zone climate control and an acoustic windscreen are standard. There's also a sunroof available as an option, which according to BMW is 24mm longer than the one on the old car, which probably wasn't really worth me mentioning. Sorry for wasting your time. The new 4 Series isn't just a tarted up 3 Series in a slightly more slutty dress. No, it's set up to feel racier to drive as well. The rear track is 23mm wider than on the 3 Series. The car sits 57mm low to the ground and has a 21mm lower centre of gravity. And all these things help improve the handling, as does the specifically tuned suspension, which is available with an adaptive setup as an option. And for the real anoraks amongst you, there's also increased negative camber on the front wheels to help the car change direction quicker. But that's not all. Extra bracing on the bulkhead and rear suspension mounts, plus the lack of rear doors, make the body stiffer to help boost both comfort and cornering capability. Basically, you can think of the 4 Series as a 3 Series that's just dropped 100mg of Viagra. Shawing! Being a 2-door coupe, there are some sacrifices for the sexy body. Getting into the rear seats is more of a palaver than in the 3 Series. And once back there, headroom is slightly tighter, as illustrated by my lovely German counterpart, who measures 188cm tall. And I think even 10cm short of me would still struggle. Knee room is about the same as the 3 Series, but what you're going to do is use up that space by slouching to get your head in properly. Also, there's only 2 seats in the back rather than 3 like you get in the 3 Series, though this is actually a blessing in disguise. Still, you do get a ski hatch for those trips to the Bavarian mountains, and people in the front get handed their seatbelt by the lovely BMW Coupe seatbelt butler, which will probably eventually break one day and cost you a load to fix. As for the boot, it's the same 440 litres as in the old 4 Series, but the boot itself is a much squarer shape, so it should be easier to load. And you can fold down the rear seats if you need some extra room. The new 4 Series engine lineup kicks off with a pair of 2-litre turbo petrols, with 184 horsepower in the 420i and 258 horsepower in the 430i. Then there's the M440i, which has a 3-litre straight-six turbo with 374 horsepower and all-wheel drive, and that can do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. However, I recently timed an M340i Touring from 0 to 60 in just 4.1 seconds.
Oh, grip's good. And that's that.
So this lighter 4 Series may be able to even break the 4-second mark. As well as an uprated engine, the 440i gets more aggressive styling, uprated brakes, extra chassis bracing and a limited slip rear differential. Want to know what the engine sounds like? Well, it sounds like this. If you do lots of miles, you'll probably want one of the turbo diesels. There's a 190 horsepower 2-litre in the 420D, a 3-litre straight 6 in the 430D, and a twin-turbo version of that engine in the M440d, which will probably be almost as quick as its petrol counterpart. It won't sound as good though, but BMW will try and hide this by playing fake engine noises through the stereo speakers into the cabin. BMW's press office is keen for me to tell you that all diesels and 6-cylinder petrol models get a 48-volt mild hybrid system. This means a starter motor can recoup lost energy under braking, and then use this to deliver an extra 11 horsepower to supplement the engine to help save fuel. Really though, the savings are actually tiny on an individual level, so it'll be inconsequential to owners. However, when spread across all BMW cells, the small saving will add up to help prevent a load of CO2 entering the atmosphere. Still, if you want to go full zero emissions, you'll need BMW's i4 Tesla Model 3 rival. BMW loves a good light show, and the new 4 Series takes this to a new level. As well as the usual welcome carpet light, which illuminates the pavement so you don't step out of the car and into a pile of dog poo, there's a bunch of different lighting colours to choose from, so you can enhance the interior ambience, darling. The clever bit though is that if the door is open, one of the strips blinks red as a warning, so you don't forget, drive off and take out some pedestrians as you do so. This is the part where old-fashioned people who read old-fashioned car magazines printed on dead trees will get upset, even though they probably will never buy a car like this anyway. You see, the new 4 Series, shock horror, is automatic only. But who cares? BMW's manual gearboxes are pretty crappy. And on UK cars, they have a habit of positioning the pedal so far to the right that they get free admission to the British National Party. And anyway, the 8-speed auto BMW fits to its cars is bloody brilliant. The new 4 Series gets the same infotainment system as the 3 Series, so that means it's pretty good, though it's now bettered by Mercedes' latest setup. However, I am very pleased to tell you that the 4 Series is the first ever BMW to get Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. Plus, there's a huge charging pad which can even accommodate a Samsung Galaxy Note. As standard, the car gets a 9-inch central touchscreen, but you can pay a bit more if you need an extra inch, and you can control the infotainment system in various ways. Swivelling a wheel, swiping a touchpad, dirtying a touchscreen, waving your hands about like an Italian, or saying some words that happen to be included in the car's limited voice command vocabulary.
Are you talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
And inputting destinations in the sat-nav is easy, regardless of the way you choose to do it. There is of course the obligatory digital driver's display as well, which comes in at just 6 inches as standard, but can be upgraded for the full widescreen effect. Even then though, the system in an Audi A5 does look nicer. BMW's optional heads-up display is hard to beat though, it's 70% bigger than before. As for other key options, how about a Harman Kardon stereo and a 360-degree camera system to supplement the standard all-round parking sensors. The new BMW 4 Series will go on sale in October, priced from a smidge under £40,000. That will get you the 420i. Still, it does come in M Sport trim, as in the UK there's no lowly SE nonsense at all, though other markets do get this lower model, as you can see in the case of this white car. However, as there's only M Sport for us, it does mean the starting price is a little bit more than a Mercedes C-Class Coupe or an Audi A5. And if you want the M440i, that will be £54,000. Before any options, and one I would fit would be the adaptive cruise control, which will automatically brake, accelerate and steer the car to keep you in lane and safe.